Peabo Bryson. Me and Peabo in a limo, part 2. If you haven't checked out part 1, I suggest go back and listen to it first. And for the people who say, fuck it, I'm not going to listen to part 1, I'm going to start right with part 2, here is what happened. Quick recap. In part 1, I told the story of a gig that I did with Peabo Bryson in Chicago in a old-fashioned, lavish theater, and was a fantastic audience. And after the gig, Peabo Bryson took us to this little hole-in-the-wall soul food fried catfish and chicken place. And he was wearing this gold lame boxer cape. People were thinking he was Sugar Ray Leonard. Cops showed up thinking it was a drug deal going on because I was the only white boy in an all-black operation. While we were waiting outside the Greasy Spoon for our chicken and catfish to be fried in this pretty bad neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. And then the female cop was all giddy googity over Peabo Bryson. Mr. Bryson, I'm such a fan. And she had him sign all kinds of things, and here we are. The next morning, after sleeping for barely 2 hours, I found myself in a hotel lobby at 4 a.m. in a Casino Boat hotel in Gary, Indiana, waiting for Peabo Bryson to join me in a white stretch limo. Me and Peabo in a limo. It so happened that all the rest of the band, they had later flights. I crawl into the white stretch limo, but Peabo Bryson wasn't in there yet. I wait 10 minutes, no Peabo Bryson. 20 minutes, no Peabo Bryson. After 30 minutes, already started damning Peabo Bryson. He comes in with a big smile. Good morning, Casper. Good morning, Peabo. He's still wearing that gold boxer's cape like Sugar Ray Leonard after his title fight. Ha! Of course, that is a lie. But wouldn't it be funny if that's just how he rolls? Like, I like gold, okay? I like gold lame, and this is how I walk around every day when I'm not performing. Well, that was a lie, and the only lie, because Peabo, he looked sharp at 4:30 in the morning. He always looks sharp, polished. Even when he's wearing casual, it's at least smart casual. And the limo takes off. At first, I was so tired, and I certainly didn't want to bother Peabo Bryson with small talk. But he was all loquacious. He started talking to me, actually. He politely asked me if it would bother me if he's smoking out of the window in the back. I'm thinking, yes, it bothers me, but saying, no, it doesn't bother me. What, I'm going to tell the star of the show he can't smoke at 4:30 in the morning? Okay, then. Almost as he felt obliged to explain his smoking habit, he goes on to tell me that he smokes organic mentholated cigarettes. And he actually believed that these are not really bad for your voice. Here he is, the man with the golden voice, and he's smoking at 4:30 in the morning. Okay, well, then the conversation went on, and it changed from organic smoking to organic food. Turns out we have something in common. We're both big foodies, and we both like to cook. And he actually gave me his own recipe for collard greens Next thing I know, like we're chatting and he was bubbly at this early hour. I couldn't believe it. Since we were talking about food and since he was so kind to share his recipe for collard greens, I asked him if he grew up in the South. And indeed, he did. In his own words, he grew up in a small town in South Carolina, which wasn't quite the big city, but it wasn't quite the country either. Right in between. Talking about food, I had at some point mentioned to him that I don't like to eat anything that I don't know how to pronounce, let alone know what it chemically means. And he responds, guess who knows all about nutrition because she studied it? Sheena Easton, my good friend. Yeah, turns out the famous singer is a good friend of Peabo Bryson's and confidant on some level. And for people who don't remember Sheena Easton, she became really famous with the James Bond song, For Your Eyes Only. And then she was also on the Prince record, You Got to Look. Anyway, and she had a few other hits on her own. So he goes on and on talking about Sheena Easton and what a great person she is. And anyway, so at some point, I asked Peabo if it was okay if I check in with my then girlfriend and now lovely wife, Sonia. And if I would do so, if he wouldn't mind saying hello to her. Yeah, a blatant attempt on scoring some points with the girlfriend. Peabo smiled and said, of course, just put her on. So I'm calling her, waking her up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And, hey, honey, someone wants to say hello to you. And he's like, hi, it's Peabo. And they talked for a couple of minutes. That's how charming this guy is. Yeah, and that concludes Peabo and me in the limo.